Hello, YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Railroad Corporation Strategy and Tactics episode 2, 3. Yeah, it's an interesting ordering of the series here, but I digress. So, when we last left our intrepid foray into Mission 2 here, we had purchased the wheat field and have a singleton route going back and forth there with the best friend, T1. And then we set up a passenger service between Knoxville and Chattanooga. And that's been very profitable. But we want more. I've let a little time pass. We have just finished up research on max speed and pulling mass for the DeWitt Clinton. And we're going to be pressing the DeWitt Clinton into service right now. But we are not quite done here yet. Let's get some power going for the DeWitt Clinton, and then we can take a look backwards a little bit to maybe clean up some of the other researches for our other locomotives, like, say, aging for the John Bull. Because over time that will be a relevant thing to have improved. As I mentioned before, the best friend is good for where you just have one pickup and one drop off, A to B, one way, it's empty the other direction. When you want to be feeding something else, when you have two destinations and it's one way both ways, or if you have two different things you want to feed, that's when the DeWitt Clinton comes into play. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our station here. We're going to lament that it picked the wrong side here. We're going to fix that. There we go. That's better. Fix that up. Oh yeah, before we do all of our rail thing, let's take a look at our exchange here. We got this guy, rails -5. Not the most impactful, but it's something, and he doesn't take up much space, so we'll take him on. Now, the fact that we have two people that are seriously discounting bridges is something you want to keep in mind. We don't want to buy them yet because I'm not ready to build bridges, but there will be a time where we want to build bridges, in which case we will hire both of them and build all the bridges. Also, John Bull price -40%, also really good. We're not about to buy a John Bull right now, so we're going to keep him in the wings. But yeah. Right then, so let's get our route going here. So with our second route here, we might as well have them follow in parallel. And again, if we can keep the soil excavation cost less than our rail cost, then we're in good shape. Nope. Back. We don't want to merge with that other one. There, that's good. And we can plug back into the back end of Cookerville. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be alternating here with the DeWitt Clinton. We want to both feed Chattanooga City Hall, but we also want to start feeding the farm. Now, Chattanooga just grew and started demanding meat. That is most excellent. So we are going to be rolling that into a purchase soon. But for the moment, we're going to start by feeding the City Hall with grains. We're going to buy the DeWitt Clinton. Now, the DeWitt Clinton cannot pull nearly as much as the John Bull, but it is fast. Super fast. It's top speed 63 miles an hour. So when it makes that backswing return trip, it's going to be flying. And it can still carry as much and still maintain a good speed as the best friend. I mean, we could load it up with another one, but look at that. Going at 52 of 53 tons lets it only go 10 miles an hour. Not worth that sacrifice in speed. I'll take it at 3. Thank you very much. So we're going to have you go there. We will then drop you off here in Chattanooga. Now, we're gonna make this an alternating route. Even though it's going to be the same two stations, what they do in each one is going to be different. So we're going to hit Add Station, and we're going to add Cookerville a second time. And so this allows us to if we were just to click on this before, it would just try to add more units to the original one. We only want it picking up 3 at a time. So we'll pick up 3 more wheat. But then after that, then we want you, we're going to add station Chattanooga again and have you go 1, 2, 3 to the farm. So this way, we are basically telling it to alternate which demand it fills every time it shows up. First it gives 3 to City Hall, then it gives 3 to the farm. Back and forth, back and forth. Works out nicely. So we will apply that. The other thing we need to do here now that we've upgraded this is let's get our repair shop on. Let's get our cheaper maintenance on. And we might as well do the... yeah, we'll do the faster maintenance, and then coal warehouse, and coal warehouse. I like that build because since the John Bull is going to fill up at both ends, we'll have dirt cheap coal refilling at both ends now. I don't need to do maintenance on the John Bull at both ends, but now since we have a yeah, look at this thing. It is flying. Now it's gonna catch up to T1 here pretty soon, but it'll be able to load on its own. Huh? They were both able to refill coal at the same time. I thought you needed a special building for that. Oh well, not gonna complain. But yeah, see now this is why we bought the wheat field. We are extracting a lot more wheat from it, and this field has enough production to keep up with that extra demand here. And we're going to have you repair, but we'll have you do it only on the backswing here. No need to do it every single time. So down you go here, and you will start filling up Chattanooga. Now I can tell you with the DeWitt, if all we ever did was have it go and fill just grain, back and forth with just grain to the City Hall, the City Hall would very quickly get maxed out. And that if that's all we wanted to do, we would use the best friend in this route. But since we want to go City Hall and farm, we want the extra speed and throughput of the DeWitt Clinton. Not to mention the DeWitt Clinton is efficient. This thing, like, look at the best friend. Fuel consumption per unit, 8.5. That's with all the upgrades. The DeWitt Clinton is 6.7, and that's without the fuel consumption reduction research done yet. Either of them. You can drop your fuel consumption really low with the DeWitt Clinton. So the DeWitt Clinton is efficient as heck when it comes to one-way routes. Because yeah, it refills here, and then look at this. It's gonna it's got its huge top speed, so on the backswing when it's empty, just phew, right back up to Cookerville. So even though it can't carry as much as the John Bull, its throughput is still going to be much better than it, and it's going to cost me a heck of a lot less to operate. Now I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to let it deposit its thing to the farm, but before the farm produces its first meat, I will buy the farm, because I want in on that action. So it's going to cost me 43K, send me into debt, but that's going to be worth it. Ka-ching. Now this is my farm. So now when you purchase a production building like the farm here, when you drop stuff out to it, you don't get paid anymore because you're essentially giving it to yourself for free. But now the materials that it spits out are free as well. Oh yeah, let me let's do one more round. Since Chattanooga's grown, we can do a 6-person delivery this time around. Might as well make use of the fact that the town has grown. So yeah, look at that. See, that's 7,260. So the farm produced a meat, and then because the town demands meat, it bought the meat from me. It, as I like to call it, nibbled on it. But it has to, because this is my farm, it has to pay me for it. So it's as if I delivered a meat to it, but I didn't lift a finger. So as we produce, as we churn through the grain here, it's going to keep nibbling on the meat and paying me for it. So the farm will very, very quickly pay for itself. And power has been completed. That's on the DeWitt Clinton. Let's get some more power. And then we'll get into fuel consumption reduction. And go from there. Let's take a look at our labor pool here. We still got our bridge people there. Power of all locomotives +8. Power is useful, but not that useful. I don't know if I'd want to dedicate an employee towards that, because their power is pretty decent to begin with. Now, one other thing to take note of, we are still racing against this purchased textile factory clock right here. And that's going to sort of factor into our strategy here. I want to wait till this is almost done, till we almost fail the mission before we actually purchase it. Because as you can see, we're not actually in a place to use it yet. We'll get into that, trust me. But for now, we're just going to enjoy our trains doing their thing. Alright, so we dropped a thing of grain, and while it digests the grain, we're going to drop this off over here and have the farm do some more churning and burning for us. So yeah, this definitely works out for us in our favor. Now the farm is producing two things for us, the meat and the leather. The meat is just going to be eaten by Chattanooga, which is fine. The leather, on the other hand, obviously needs to be processed, and that's actually part of the longer term goal of this game, is leather's consumed by this clothes factory. So what we're going to do here now with our John Bull route is instead of picking up passengers from Chattanooga, we are going to pick up leather. We're going to pick up 5 leather, because again, that lets us, 5 leather. That lets us still have an appreciable max speed and lets us get a fair amount of material. And again, the John Bull's great as long as it's full in both directions. It doesn't matter what it's full with. So we can do passengers one way to make sure we make money on the one trip, and then the return trip, these things are going to give us tons of cash. $92.40 each. Yeah, I could buy the clothes factory, but then it wouldn't pay me for the leather, and I could always buy it later. So this John Bull route is now going to be even more profitable. And I won't have to pay the $2,400 for each leather that we pick up because, well, this is my farm, my leather. So I will just give it to myself for free. And again, if I had just had this guy going back and forth and doing nothing but feed the farm, these things would quickly max themselves out. So that's why having it alternate is going to be good for both cases. So, you know, the city continues to get its accelerated growth because of it's being fed grain. We're getting a good price for it, and we're still making the farm work for us. So this Chattanooga should grow at a pretty appreciable clip here. Hey. Ka-chink, ka-chink. And it's still worth it on the backswing to deliver all those passengers, and all those passengers are going to help Chattanooga grow as well. And we pick up our 5 leather and just go from there. And this should have enough to have 5 leather completed by the time we come back for another round of it. Alright, let's do fuel consumption since we finished up power. And let's just take a look at our people are still doing their thing. All right, let's buy the textile factory. Ka-chink. All right, so now our ultimate goal is to deliver 10 units of clothing all the way down here. Why they made it such a pain in the butt of a place to go, I don't know. But it is kind of a pain in the butt place to go. That being said, it might be worthwhile to build a route down here and blast through the mountains a little bit. That would certainly take us a more direct route. Yeah, that might actually be a smart move. We could also have like a sort of a sub route here. How's yeah, see our city hall is it's getting a little overloaded, so we could have the best friend kind of leave it alone and do some a sort of a sub coal mine route. But first, before we even get into that, we've got a lot more stuff to do. So let's take a look at our people here. Price of all locomotives minus 22. That's actually pretty darn good. Although I might do the John Bull price first, because we are going to be buying not one but two John Bulls. So getting those cheaper would certainly be more worthwhile. All right, we lost one of our bridge guys, but we can get this other bridge guy because we are going to need him. All right, so what we want to do is we need to get some cotton up here to this textile factory, and I'd say Fort Payne's probably our best way to provide it. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to start a route down here, and this is again why I wanted to buy the bridge guy. All right, so see, soil excavation's a little thick right now. So we probably could find a more economical route, or just a little bit more. I mean, this is kind of bumpy terrain over here, all said and done. So we'll just take little baby steps here to try and minimize the... Yeah, that's not too bad. So we've got that, and now what we're going to do is the nice thing about stations is, especially when you double them up, it doesn't make one more route, it makes two more routes, because you get another use out of the backside. And well, we could, make a splice into this one. That would just kind of gum up the works. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it actually come back out of this other side. Yeah, and you don't go any faster than 40 miles an hour, so we can do a sharper turn here. And we're a little better. We're about even on the soil excavation if we count the rails. Well, maybe a little bit more, but still we're okay. And confirm. Beautiful. Now we are going to send ourselves a little bit into debt here to get this route going, but this is why I wanted to get yeah, look at this. The John Bull is cheaper than the best friend now. Ha! I love it. Yeah, because we're going to be buying a couple of these things and pressing them into service. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of an overdraft, and yeah, it's going to have to start here. Now, whenever you're buying something and sending it to an eventual route, you want to consider the path it takes and what you pass along there. You might have a chance to, actually do, make a little extra money on that, depending on what you pass and where you go. In this case, what we could probably do is just do a big old dump of stuff onto the city hall here, or heck, maybe even the farm, to keep supplies up, and then let it continue on its route. So we're going to pick up a whole ton of grain here, and we'll I mean, do I want to dump it in City Hall? Probably not. I could dump it. I could 50-50 it. I could dump 3 into City Hall and 3 into the farm. Why not? Again, it's going to be a one-time only route. And then we'll send it down here to pick up as much cotton as we can reasonably carry. 6 units of it. Because, I mean, like I said, it's coming this way. I'd also consider taking an extra round of passengers, but I'd worry about T2 not having enough people to pick up by the time it got there. So I think the more efficient one is Cookville. And then dropping it 50-50 into Chattanooga. Just to keep things flowing a little bit. All right, we got aging for the John Bull, so let us keep that flowing. We're working on this fuel consumption for the DeWitt. We could do aging for the DeWitt because that's nice and cheap. We don't want to line up some expensive researches when we're already in overdraft mode. I mean, granted, we're gonna get it because like once. Yeah, look at this. 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. Yeah, we're already out of debt. That 5 things, and this thing can hold 20. So we're just going to go ahead and let it deliver up to 20, because soon we'll be pairing the textiles in there and being able to start manufacture clothes. Okay, now that you've done your thing here, we can go ahead and take these steps off of here. So we want you to pick up the cotton and then make your way all the way over here to the textile factory. Now, normally this would be a one-way route, and normally I'd use the DeWitt Clinton here, except that we can actually get something done on the backswing. There's 35 people available here in Nashville to pick up. So we might as well, on the backswing here, pick up 6 people, and then drop them off here in Chattanooga. And then tell it to service there, and then have it repeat. So yes, there is going to be one leg of the journey in which the John Bull is empty, but there's enough percentage of the journey is going to be, it's going to be meaningfully full that I think it's worth the expense in this case. And then that'll get our stuff up and running quite smoothly. Let's see who else. Oh yeah, everything else is. I mean, we got the 3 employees hired, so we're good on that front. Do we want to fire our bridges guy? Because we do have at least one more bridge that we want to build. I might want to fire the bridges guy. Because yeah, we could. Well, we could, here's what we can do. Before we fire the bridges guy, let's build some tracks out to this way. And I'm going to try to make use of this little curlicue here back in the backwards here. That's going to be a little bit of a stretch. I could just plug it into a fork over here. It's probably ultimately be a smarter move. Or I could expand this out to 3. That might be the smarter move. But that's going to be more expensive. Yeah, you know what? Let's just have you split out here. We're just going to plug straight here into Murphy. Save ourselves some cash because of our bridges guy. And then I think you know what I think I'm going to do? Just to both save us some cash and also sort of balance things out. Knoxville's chewing on a fair amount of grain right now. We're going to send our best friend... Where are you going? Oh, you're in Fort... Wait, why are you in Fort... You're moving? Did we miss out? If you already left the station, then... Oh yeah, he already left the station. Okay, fine. We'll catch him on the backswing here. Because we're going to want him to... Once he returns to Knoxville, one more grain delivery here, and then we'll be good. Because what we're going to want to do is we're going to need a direct line between Knoxville and Nashville to deliver the textiles. So once this comes back here, then we can have you start doing this little route right here, at least for the time being. Fort Payne now demands grain and wood. All right, Fort Payne, I believe, is our So our us using the cotton field has caused them to grow. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could start making use of that fact. I don't think it's quite worth it to bring wheat all the way down here. I mean, we could, but it would kind of gum up this line and have it compete. There's a wheat field down here, but again, not quite worth it. The only thing I could see really being worth it is maybe a route to Cleveland. But even then, that's a bit too much length to worry about. And we'd be getting distracted from the main mission here. So let's just stay focused on... Alright, so we're going to unload here. Then we will remove your route and say pick up the coal here. And again, well, just 2 so it maintains decent speed. And I'm not going to buy the coal mine. Even though I could probably afford it, I'm not going to buy it because it's not worth it enough. Because we're only having one city sort of make use of it here. What I am going to do, however, is let me actually, we don't need to double up the station. What we can do is just use this length of track that was going to the station and splinter it off. Alright, we're doing decent here. Let me just make sure I'm getting in a good direction here. There, and we will meet up here in the middle. Bada boom, bada bing. So, as far as what we're going to be delivering here, we obviously want to get our textiles back here, but again, we want this. We want to have something on the backswing here, and we can technically do that with passengers. Now, the supply's gonna be a little bit tight. Part of me wants to. Where's T2? How far are you in your journey, T2? Yeah, you're all the way back here, and it's already regenerated to 4. We might be okay. We might be okay to sort of double tap Knoxville here for passengers. Because I do want to have a there and back again deal. The other thing we could do is actually have have the John Bull do this route with the passengers, and then have a DeWitt Clinton just do a one-way route with clothing. That might actually be a smarter move, rather than overtax the passengers' supply here. I mean, Knoxville should be growing to where it can produce more passengers soon, so you know what? I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay to buy another John, especially since we still have our John Bulls or cheaper guy. I'm just going to wait for the supply to build itself up to 6, or maybe to 5. I might do it as a 5, because in this particular route, I value speed a little bit more than raw power, because I want the textiles on the backswing more so than I care about the passengers here. There we go, 5. Let's buy that John Bull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down here, drop you off. The other thing we could do is have one of these guys do postage once Knoxville grows large enough for postage. I think the next thing will make it large enough for postage. All right, we'll then pick up as much. Yeah, 5 units of cloth is fine by me. Or 5 units of textiles is fine by me, rather. And then drop you off here. And of course make sure we do our servicing, because that's a long trip. And actually, I think just to alleviate the passenger situation, I think for T2, we're actually going to have you guys do 5 and 5, so you don't wait for a full 6. And that should allow the two of them feed off of passengers without losing too much economic value. We'll consider buying the clothes factory once, again, we make our initial deliveries, but before it's actually produced its first unit of clothing. And then we'll consider our options for... All right, fuel consumption complete. Let's get more fuel consumption reduction to make the DeWitt Clinton even more efficient.